This is a quick look at One's OT, and this is a cool product, man. I really like. I mean, it's a neat product that they've got here. However, to start with, when you've got the ADA compliance, there's this tool called Wave. You can go to wave.com, I believe is the address, wave.webaim.org, and it'll show you the errors. So you've got 85 errors here. You've got 37 contrast errors. We've got empty heading tags. So is this the empty? That's low contrast. So that right there is too light. That color's too light. We've got low contrast over here. That orange on the background, it needs to be a darker orange. This is going to be low contrast too. And then we've got empty heading tags. Let's see where this empty heading, I don't see where this empty heading tag's coming, but basically you've got empty heading tags, contrast errors. These alerts also, these are redundant alt text, and that means that whoever designed the site and put these images in here, they just kind of stuck the same alt text over and over and over again. So it wasn't set up to be ADA compliant. They didn't make it ADA compliant. You can see you got 78 empty heading tags, 6 missing alt text, 37 contrast errors, and 150 alerts on the repeating alt text through here. Missing level heading tags. And this also affects your rankings. So you've got, this stuff's going to affect your rankings as well. So, and it would come back to the website, but it's not just that. I mean, and I realize a lot of these restaurants now, they've got all the business they can handle with their walk-in traffic, but the website should be set up correctly. When somebody lands on the website, what you want to happen, one, you don't want all these links up here. You want everything to be focused on one idea. Right now, if we look at the title tags over here, you've got you've got your name over here. That's not what you're trying to rank for. The description, you got the description over here, your name here, and is this WordPress? And WordPress is the most hacked platform in the world. Yeah, this is WordPress. You don't want to use WordPress. It's the most hacked platform in the world. It's slow, it's bloated, and you've got, and then we've got order online, and then that takes us to a totally different website. So now we've left the main website and we're going to this other website. You should put, and then it's only in Chinese, I guess is what this is. So it's only in this line, and we can't. Okay, I guess you close it here. I don't know, but if we try and change it to English, translate, and it translated some of it, but I would set it up. It wants my coupons, find nearby exchange rates, brand. I don't even see the shopping cart over here. We've got not yet positioned. I would set, I mean, if you're selling stuff online, if you can deliver stuff or even let people pick up stuff, I would set it up so that the shopping cart actually works. Type of meals, the drinks. What kind of desserts has he got? Desserts, all of them. Sorry, we can't find. So this doesn't even work. I would not be set up unless I'm missing something. Coco's Dragonhorn. Coco's available. Sorry, we can't find Dragonhorn. All of them. Okay, well, is there an all of them over here too? Brands. The whole page moves. Well, I wouldn't have this drop down like that. That drop down's out of control. I would not have it set up where I'm leaving my website. All those products over there that you've got on the shopping cart, I'd bring that into under one domain name. I would not use WordPress for anything. But from here, not only do you have the ADA compliance problems, but you've also got a speed problem. If you look right here, this website takes 2.9 seconds for the first content paint. This needs to be under 1 second for Google to spider it. And then you've got an LCP of 13 seconds. There's a Google penalty at 2.5. So this has got a penalty on it. It's taking way too long to load. Google did a study and they found that 53% of your traffic will leave in 3 seconds. So this thing takes 13 seconds to load. So you're losing a lot of traffic right here because of load times. The website had, when you build something, whoever designed this, if you're a web design company and you're a professional, and if you're charging people to design something, you should be a professional. You should validate your code. You should make sure all the code is valid. These are errors. Any one error can prevent it from being ADA compliant. They can prevent it from working correctly in a device. You want to have 0 errors. So if you look, and then on the menu, you want this menu to have 5 items at the most across here. Because what you're trying to do, the more you give people to think about, the more confused they become. And this has been studied over and over and over again. The more information you give, the more confused people get. If we look, everything should be targeted towards selling the drinks or whatever is your biggest product, which I guess is the bubble tea. So everything should be, I would even have a picture of the item here. You want to be trying to sell them the second they land. I played with the design a little bit just to throw out some ideas, and this is just kind of thrown together quickly. I would have the drink here. I would have the menu, the rewards, the catering. I guess, I don't know if you do catering or not, but I would have the menu is the most important thing. And if we come over here, we've got menu here. So you've got a menu set up, and I can show you how each page should look. But the menu should be quick, easy to understand, and easy to see what's happening. And the only page I did so far was the home page. But I played around with it a little bit. I put the drinks up here. That just looks so cool. And the the idea, and then I would move all the videos that you've got down here to the bottom. This is just thrown together. Like I said, it's not done like it should be. But if you look right here, a lot of people will say it's impossible to make a website ADA compliant, to make it load correctly. Well, this is set up into Django, so the back end's here and everything. Oh, look, we've got 2 alerts in here. I didn't see that. So see these alerts. Okay, there's some alt text that's duplicated here that should not be. That's bad, and that needs to be fixed. But what you're trying to do is get 0 across everywhere. And alerts aren't usually things that will get you sued, but the alerts are still bad, so they shouldn't be there. So we need to remove those alerts. But if you look right here, 0 errors. If you're a professional and you code a website, you should make sure there's no errors. These errors, every one of these errors is something that's, a meta element with an HTTP equivalent attribute. This is stuff that should not be there. You've got font style swap is not part of the font style. You've done that several times. You've got a parsing error. You've got element must have an alt attribute. You got a source, an image without any alt attribute at all. So I would go through and fix all those errors so there's no errors. And if you look, this is what you want. And this one isn't set up. Like I said, this was thrown together kind of quick. So it's still got some best performance. If we look down, the first content paint's under a second, 0.9 millisecond. The largest content paint is under a second, 0.9 milliseconds. So this thing should rank good. But if you look, there's still other things that drink that we were looking at. We've got the duplicate alt text, but there's also a loading problem here. So you can improve the image delivery. So you might be able to improve the image delivery. We've got the dome size here. We've got several little things that still need to be fixed on here. With the CSS needs to be minified. If we went through and fixed all this like it should be, if I was designing this site, it would be 100 across the entire board, and there would be no ADA compliancy problems at all. Like right now, you've got 2 alerts. I wouldn't leave 2 alerts on a website I was putting online. But if you fix all this stuff, this thing right here might load in 0.8, 0.7, even 0.5 milliseconds if it's set up correctly. And now you've got probably the fastest restaurant website around, and you're able to convert, and you don't have to ever worry about getting sued because there's no errors. If there's no errors, then you don't have to worry about any more ADA compliancy lawsuits. These people, they run around and they just sue people, and this is, keep in mind that this is the errors on this page. So even if you fix this page right here, every single page needs to be fixed. There can't be any errors on any pages. So if we come back in over here to the menu, there's probably going to be some ADA compliance errors over here too, 79 and 30. So each page is going to have more problems and more stuff that you've got to fix. And I mean, and this is going to leave the site completely, or maybe not. I don't know maybe it won't work if I'm in this code. But the website needs to be fast. It needs to be loaded correctly. The keywords that you decide to go after, you should be targeting those same keywords in the title and if you look right here, if we look at the title tag over here, you can see the title tag is optimized for the keywords. This title tag should match this heading tag. And again, I would put your drink over here. I would put your main product here, because what you're trying to do is make them want the product. When they land here, everything they already probably know about the website. They probably know who you are, and this website's job, the second they land here, its only job is to sell them something. That's the only. And look, this thing right here is now locked up or something. I can't get it to load again. So these load times, I mean, look how slow this is. These load times are going to hurt you. They're costing you traffic. They're costing you money. You can see right now, and you've got links that don't go anywhere. We come over here to the shopping cart, and we've got orders reserved, suspicious order, suspension of orders. Orders will begin at 10:30. Order reserved. Order reserved. I don't know. This needs to be a little easier to understand what's happening here. It's very confusing, and most of the stuff there's no. If you don't have anything, I would not put it over here so people can go to it if there's nothing here. And every one of these says order reserved. I don't know. I guess this shopping cart, my guess is the shopping cart's not working, but the website is still loading over here. I mean, okay, we're in this shop, so it looks like some stuff. Look at that. I mean, they got some cool looking stuff in here, don't they? Some of these images right here, I would put on the home page, because this stuff really makes you want to have one of these. Handmade grass frozen milk. What is this here? Cue ball pearls on the fragment coffee lat. I mean, they've got some neat products, some neat looking designs and stuff. I would move a lot of this stuff to the home page. I'd blow up these images and set them up on the home page. If I try and order one of these, can I order after logging in? I would set it up so that you can place the order, put all your information in, and then I wouldn't make somebody, I mean, name of order. I mean, it looks like I've got to have an account to do anything. Forget the password, dimensions. I bet this thing is not getting a whole lot of orders unless it's from people you already know, because you've got to know what's happening in this shopping cart to be able to use it. And again, I would set this thing up to be ADA compliant, because you've got these predatory lawyers running around who are just looking for people to sue to get free money because they're lazy, they don't work, they don't do anything, and they're killing the restaurants by suing anybody who they can sue to make money off of. I would set this thing up correctly. I would fix the shopping cart. I'd only have 5. I wouldn't have more than 5 items across here. If you look right here, the way I did it was I set this up with the menu here. So you're basically, everything is set up here to sell, except for that image. Everything is set, and I would probably use some different keywords here to try and make people want the drink. I would try and push it. I mean, I would make it so irresistible, and this was just thrown together pretty quick, but and then you've got your menu, your rewards, and whatever the next you would have, and then from here you have all of your other stuff inside this link right here. And that's the way I would set it up. And maybe these aren't the best colors to use or whatever. And if you look, I did background images on here. Background images are just more images to load, but even with the background images and all the other stuff, you're still getting 0.9 millisecond load times on this. And this is on mobile. You need to make sure it's on mobile. When you check this stuff, make sure it's on mobile. If it's on desktop, that's not what Google uses for ranking. And with restaurants, it's something like 85%. It's between 80 and 90%, depending on the restaurant, of traffic comes through mobile devices. So I would be setting this thing up and optimizing it and designing it for mobile. What's it look like on mobile? It would come over here and click here. See, I mean, the image doesn't really sell the product like it should. I mean, I would be messing with the image and trying to get that image. These items here, you know, they kind of get in the way. I would put these inside the menu. I mean, it's contact us and VIP. I would put that in the menu. I wouldn't have this floating over here on the side like this. And there's just a lot going on that it needs to be organized better. It needs to be organized and set up and designed better. And the ADA compliancy errors need to be fixed. They got to be fixed. So they're just, these people, they sue over and over and over again. They just come back. If you look, it's something like 40% of all lawsuits are repeat lawsuits. So they don't want you to fix the website. They want to sue you again. And they don't care that it's not ADA compliant. It has nothing to do with it being ADA compliant. It's attorneys and predatory people who find predatory lawyers, and this is all they do. They send out, there's between 300 and 400 lawsuits every single month for ADA compliance, and it's rising, it's going up. And they send out like thousands of demand letters because what they want, they don't want to go to court. What they want you to do is pay them between $5,000 and $20,000 for them not to take you to court. So when you see 350 ADA compliancy lawsuits this month, there was another 1,000 ADA compliancy emails that went out that weren't tied to a lawsuit, that just to get people to pay them money. They're predatory jerks that run around suing and trying to do anything they can do to get money. This website should be making you money. You should set this. Right now it's costing you money. Every time you get sued for not being ADA compliant, it's costing you money. This confusing shopping cart right here is costing you money. This not being set up correctly is costing you're losing money because of the website. The website should be set up correctly. Web design companies, programmers, designers, anybody who wants to talk to me about the way it should be set up, you're free to call me, but this needs to be set up correctly so it's not costing you money and it's making you money.